Hi, this is Alex from devstories.eu. LiteLLM, the Universal LLM Gateway, Episode 5 of 24. If your company's master API key is sitting in a plaintext YAML file on a production server, your security team is going to have a bad day. Hard-coded credentials are an incident waiting to happen. The solution is centralized secret management. When you run a gateway, it needs access to your upstream provider API keys to route traffic successfully. The default approach is often dropping these into a local environment variable or directly into the main configuration file. Centralized secret management changes this pattern entirely. It allows the gateway to dynamically read credentials from an external enterprise vault, such as AWS Secrets Manager, Azure Key Vault, Google Secret Manager, or HashiCorp Vault. To enable this connection, you configure two specific fields inside the general settings block of your configuration file. The first field is the key management system. Here, you define the identifier of your vault provider. If you are using AWS, you would set this to AWS_KMS. The second field is the key management settings. This is a nested structure where you provide the exact connection parameters your specific vault requires, such as the target AWS region or other required authentication details. Once the vault connection is established, you have to tell your individual model routing configurations to pull their keys from that vault. You do this using a specific string prefix in place of the actual key. Here is the key insight. Instead of typing an actual key string, you type the phrase os.environ / followed immediately by the exact name of your secret as it exists in the vault. Let us trace a concrete scenario. You want to route traffic to an Azure model, and the real API key is securely stored in AWS Secrets Manager under the name Azure API Key Production. In your configuration file, you set up the model routing block, but for the API key field, you set the value to os.environ / Azure API Key Production. When the gateway processes a request for that model, it sees the prefix. It knows not to use that string as a literal key. Instead, it makes a secure callout to AWS Secrets Manager, requests the value for that exact secret name, and retrieves the real key to authenticate the request. The plaintext key never touches your disk. Your configuration file remains entirely clean and safe to commit to version control. That covers pulling upstream credentials into the gateway. But the Secret Manager integration goes in both directions. It can also write. When you use the gateway to generate new virtual proxy keys for your internal engineering teams, you can configure the system to automatically save those newly generated keys directly into your Secret Manager. This ensures that the internal credentials you issue are stored and managed with the exact same security controls as the provider credentials you consume. Your configuration files define the structure of your routing infrastructure, but they should never hold its secrets. The safest place to store an API key in your gateway configuration is nowhere at all. Thanks for listening. Happy coding, everyone.